What if the first 45 minutes of your morning are the only thing standing between you and a state of genius? Most people wake up and immediately surrender their focus to a screen, triggering a dopamine crash before they even have breakfast. Today, we are optimizing your brain's launch sequence. I'll show you a routine backed by neuroscience that resets your dopamine, flushes out adenosine, and prepares your mind for high-level deep work, all in under 45 minutes. The Adenosine Flush. Why sunlight is the only reset button your internal clock truly recognizes. When you hit the snooze button, adenosine molecules crowd your brain like a traffic jam, draining alertness. Light from the sun is the only way to clear that jam and let your neurons surge back to life. Scientists have mapped the exact path. Photons hit special cells in your retina, wave downstream to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and that tiny brain hub flips your internal clock from sleep mode to awake mode. In the morning, exposure to natural sunlight is a launch sequence that unlocks the release of dopamine, a brain chemical that tastes like victory. To put it simply, without sunlight, your body insists on staying in a low-energy, sleepy state even if you've had your coffee. This isn't about dramatic workouts or elaborate meditation mats. Just 10 to 15 minutes of direct or indirect sun on your face or through a window, and you'll feel the full sense of a brain-fresh start. The light triggers the adenosine flush, which means your body sweeps those sleepy molecules away and sends a wave of clear focus through your cortex. During this golden hour, your heart rate rises slightly, your blood sugar steadies, and you'll notice that the urge to snooze has vanished. You could lace up for a casual jog, or simply stand in your kitchen while the TV plays. Even a few minutes of cloud-filtered morning light can trigger the reset. The key is consistency, not intensity. Imagine a routine that lasts 45 minutes, broken into 3 actionable beats. First, step 1, the launch sequence. Open curtains, step outside, let sunlight hit your eyes, and breathe deeply for 10 minutes. Second, step 2, the dopamine reset. Stretch your arms, do a quick 5-minute body scan, and listen to a favorite uplifting track. Third, step 3, the brain focus sprint. Launch your most demanding task, set a 20-minute timer, work intensely, pause, and repeat once. You'll have a cache of clear, energetic minutes anytime you need to power through. By making the sun your only true reset button, you harness a natural, adenosine-free environment that no artificial light can match. Integrate the golden hour into your mornings, watch as focus multiplies, and give yourself the real advantage that only daylight can provide. The no-phone protocol, protecting your dopamine levels from the digital slot machine for the first 45 minutes. Your brain is a signaling battalion that needs a briefing before the day's battle commences. Suddenly waking up to a flashing notification is like a bomb that detonates the dopamine reserves in minutes. It's a microstimulus that latches onto the hippocampus and floods the reward centers faster than any breakfast could. The trick is to give those neurons a chance to calibrate before the digital slot machine pulls its lever. First step of the launch sequence, locate your phone, then put it in a drawer away from the bed. Tell yourself that the drawer is a temporal vault. Switch your phone to airplane mode right as the alarm blares. The next 10 minutes dedicate to breathing exercises or a quick 3-minute body stretch routine. Studies have shown that controlled breathing nudges the amygdala to release endogenous opioids, thereby counteracting the external dopamine spike. After the stretch, slide into a short meditation, using a countdown app that requires no screen interaction. This quiet hiatus primes the frontal lobe, allowing it to rewire in anticipation of the day instead of reacting to a piecemeal temptation. The second phase, the dopamine reset, begins at the 15-minute mark. Engage in a 5-minute journaling session or simply note 3 things you're grateful for. This exercise signals the prefrontal cortex to switch from reward chasing to goal setting. Follow that with a 5-minute brisk walk in front of a living room window or garden. The act of walking increases dopamine concentration in the basal ganglia in a sustained, healthy pattern rather than the binge release that a notification would trigger. The crunch of fresh air and the increased oxygen flow prepare the brain to resist the urge that the phone's screen will soon impose. At 25 minutes, plug into some light sounds or an audiobook chapter while sipping water. The juice start strategy, hydrating first, slows the digestive and nervous systems, allowing the adenosine flush to engage. Accompany that with a simple mindful eating ritual. Take 2 deliberate bites, chew slowly, and notice the texture. While you're there, glance at your watch or an analog ticker. Track your time but keep your phone in a locked room. When the 40-minute bell rings, it signals the complete adenosine flush. You're now set to launch into the golden hour with a brain that's tuned like a high-end instrument, free from the panic spikes that a phone would otherwise cause. Biological ignition, using cold exposure and hydration to wake up your nervous system without the caffeine crash. Cold exposure instantly drops core temperature, and that tiny dip pushes the sympathetic nervous system into high gear. Within minutes, the body releases norepinephrine, a chemical that sharpens focus and lifts mood. A quick 10-minute splash of 50 degrees Fahrenheit water or a brisk 5-minute walk in a brisk wind can act as the launch sequence, jolting the mind clean from a night's inertia. The trick isn't a marathon freeze, just enough to trigger a cascade of alertness without causing shock. After cold, hydration pulls 3 actions into sync. First, it returns blood flow to the brain, ensuring oxygen and nutrients reach the cortex at full speed. Second, it interrupts the buildup of adenosine, the chemical that lingers after sleep and invites fatigue. Third, it gives the blood a fresh, efficient beat that feels like the dopamine reset, activating reward pathways that make you feel good. Grab a glass of room temperature water, around 500 milliliters, and sip steadily. If you're already mildly withdrawn, a quick gulp suffices. For heavy sleepers, a splash of water mixed with a pinch of salt can enhance electrolyte balance. The total routine squeezes the best potential of the day into the golden hour. Clock in at 6 a.m. Start with cold stimulus for 10 minutes. Quickly move to the 20-minute hydration phase, sipping water in short bursts while checking a simple hydration app that reminds you to take a drink every 5 minutes. By 6:20, your blood pressure, oxygen, and mental sharpness should peak. 6:20 to 6:30 is your micro break, a 5-minute walk outside, simple eye-opening stretches, and a 30-second breath hold to consolidate the wake-up wave. Now the brain is free from the steady drip of caffeine and in a ready state to tackle tasks. Practical details. If a cold shower is not an option, use a tea bag on the wrist or a cold compress on the neck. Ensure the temperature doesn't drop below 10 degrees Celsius, otherwise cardiac strain may kick in. Keep a bottle of water close. Aim for 8 ounces every 5 minutes during the hydration window. Tailor the routine length. If only 20 minutes are available, compress the cold exposure to 5 minutes and shut the water down at 10. Listen to your body. If the pulse spikes dramatically or dizziness appears, scale back or stop. This 45-minute compass points straight toward a brain that feels awake, alert, and ready to blitz through the day without the lingering caffeine crash. The cognitive warm-up. Why light movement and focused silence are better than checking emails. When you first open your eyes, brain cells buzz like a freshly unloaded gun, ready to fire ideas. Yet most people punch that signal straight into the email inbox, and the instant ping puts the neural fire on autopilot, leaving your brain stuck in a low-power loop. Instead, the first 15 minutes after you wake become the golden hour when your mind sparks most efficiently. Light movement, such as gentle stretching or a brisk walk around the block, kicks the blood rushing to the frontal lobe, pumping oxygen and glucose where your creative engines sit. That burst of circulation triggers the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that fuels learning and memory. In contrast, staring at a screen stokes cortisol, the stress hormone, which can dampen the very circuits you need to sharpen. When you start your day with a short, unscripted movement routine, you set the launch sequence in motion. Think of your body as a finely tuned spacecraft. The first 30-second jog in place, 3 deep breaths, and a few arm circles act as a thruster, launching your neurons into alignment. During this micro-workout, mitochondria, the energy factories of cells, produce ATP at a higher rate, giving you a surge of mental sharpness. You'll notice that even the simplest flip of a camera shutter feels less sluggish. By the time you finish the warm-up, your nervous system has already transitioned from a state of sleeping to a finely balanced alert mode, exactly what your morning brain deserves. Focused silence is the next critical step of the routine. After your quick cardio boost, sit with your eyes closed for 2 minutes and let your mind drift without external stimuli. This stillness burns away the adenosine that accumulated overnight. Think of adenosine as the brain's wind-up charge, a dulling factor that merely reminds the brain you're awake. By removing the constant ping of emails, you allow your neural circuits to perform a dopamine reset, a natural swing that boosts motivation and focus without artificial cues or notifications. During this silent pause, you also shape a new baseline for attention, training your brain to stay on task longer and renew creativity faster. A simple checklist translates the theory into practice. Start the day with a 2-minute stretch, run a gentle 5-minute walk or march in place, sit down for a 2-minute breathing exercise, eyes closed, repeat if you have time. The first 10 minutes in your 45-minute morning plan already build the foundation, while the remaining time can be used for deeper tasks. Keep the language simple, let each move feel natural, and notice how emails eventually feel less urgent. Your brain, now fully activated and cleared of adenosine, will handle the digital pull with the same calm that the golden hour already grants. The launch, transitioning into your first block of deep work while your brain is at its peak clarity. Every time you hit snooze, you're losing minutes of peak brain power. Within the first 30 to 45 minutes after waking, norepinephrine spikes, catapulting attention into hyperdrive. This surge lasts until the first half hour of sun hits your eyes, and somewhere in that window the brain is primed for deep, laser-focused work. It's a golden strike in a buzz-filled jungle, short, sharp, and worth catching. Start the day with a rapid intake of 16 ounces of water, then a brisk 5-minute stretch that flips the adenosine regulator off. That act flushes tiredness out just like a midnight coffee flushes caffeine out. Follow up with a window of natural light exposure. Scan the horizon until your pupil opens fully. The bright start speeds up cortisol adjustment, and you'll feel alert without the jolt of a cold shower. Add a light 5-minute jump rope or walk in place. The heart rate increases oxygen delivery, and you'll notice dopamine weaving through a mental tapestry you didn't know sat inside you. At the end of that micro-exercise burst, you'll notice your mind feeling freshly carved, ready for the real work of the day. The dopaminergic cleanup happens in a rhythm that the universe nudges you upon. Now it's your turn to lean into it. Grab a protein-rich snack. Plenty of research shows that 20 to 30 grams of whey or plant protein stabilizes glucose and improves levels of focus. If you're a coffee person, reschedule that cup for just after this 10-minute light break. Timing allows caffeine to tack on to the natural surge rather than compete with it, doubling the euphoria and error reduction. A 45-minute block of work should start associated with a simple mantra: "This is my launch." Block your calendar, set a 45-minute timer, complete those moments with 0 phone checks. The timer's rhythm becomes a metronome, matching breathing patterns to the brain's internal beat. Each minute is an intentional frame for thought. When that timer dings, you'll notice a burst of clarity sustain. Use the first 45 minutes on a project that demands high concentration, a novel chapter, a code algorithm, or a financial model. The output will be noticeably smoother. Because you've already staged a dopamine reset and flushed adenosine, the work harnesses unbroken flow. The practice is to keep the lift in the body, the light in the eyes, and caffeine as a backup, not the foundation. In that first hour, you've wired the brain's machinery like a freight engineer, setting the tempo for the rest of the day. Imagine your brain jumping out of bed like a rocket. Every morning you have the chance to arm that launch pad and fire up your day. That's the heart of the high-performance morning, a 45-minute recipe that turns the ordinary get up and go into a full-on brain-optimized launch sequence. Here's the quick lowdown. 1. The launch sequence. Hit 0 and shout "start" by rising, an immediate cue that the day's in motion. 2. The adenosine flush. Pour a glass of water. Let the cold shock kick off your circulation and clear the sleepy toxin buildup. 3. The dopamine reset. Activate a 1-minute mindful breathing routine, pulling the surge of dopamine that amps focus without the crash. 4. The golden hour. Spend the next 10 to 15 minutes outside or under a bright light, recalibrating your circadian rhythm and getting the natural lift that's better than caffeine. 5. Brain-boosting fuel. Nibble on a small protein-rich snack, an almond or a boiled egg, to give the explorer's brain a steady energy source. 6. 5-minute visualization and gratitude. Map out your top 3 wins for the day, your mental GPS, locking intent into place. That's it. A clean, no jargon, 45-minute routine that resets the brain's engine and keeps it roaring until the next launch. You're not just getting out of bed, you're firing up the system inside you. New pathways, sharper focus, a steady dopamine flow. The questions drop like late-night doubts. Can I do more? Am I truly making the most of my ammo? The answer is right now, and right in front of you. If you're ready to treat your mornings like a science-backed launchpad, hit that like button, share this with a friend who needs a better day starter, and don't forget to subscribe for the next episode, where we'll map out the silent surge, a routine that keeps that focus humming through micro breaks. Keep your mind tuned, and let's blast off together.